I've been having a difficult time creating lately. This is not unusual. My creative process in general consists of nearly constant writer's block. Behind every video I make are hours and hours staring blankly at a Google Doc. Somehow, I can spend all day writing, and then at the end of the day, not have written anything. I have a 4-word day, and then I spend the next week or so revising those 4 words. I'll convince myself that the problem is my environment. How am I supposed to write with my roommates breathing 2 rooms away? How am I supposed to write with this weather we've been having? How am I supposed to write when I've just eaten something salty, and so now I need a sweet snack to balance it out? And then after that, I'm gonna need another salty snack to balance that one out. And then after that, I'm gonna need another sweet snack. How am I supposed to write in our current geopolitical climate? Making art, content, is one of the few things that makes my life feel meaningful. It is a necessary part of me feeling whole and human, which makes it all the worse that I feel like I'm so bad at it. Not like the things I make are bad, but like I am bad at making them. I am easily distracted, frustratingly inefficient, full of second guessing and self-doubt. I sometimes feel like I have a creative genius deep down, stuck inside the prison of my brain and my body. So what if I could simply do away with the brain and the body? With the rise of AI, maybe I can. I fed the AI model GPT-2 nearly 80,000 words of my video scripts and put it to work writing me some fresh new content. Hi everyone, I am so sorry I have made this video. Starting off with an apology, that seems realistic. Hi everyone, it's me and I'm the hottest YouTuber on the internet. Hi everyone, I'm very sorry if this made you nervous. I'm planning a surprise appearance at your wedding this year. Hi everyone, this is Elon. Welcome to our beautiful, free, unfiltered universe. Welcome to your cell phone's playground. Welcome to the beauty pages of your own blog. Welcome to the true gay community. Welcome to our dimension. Welcome, we are all one and the same. Hi everyone, I am sorry I have been interrupting this so often. My main job as an internet meme is to make people sad images in order to brainwash them with negativity. But I also make videos about all this meme news, memes, and videos of children being kidnapped and murdered for the entertainment of powerful men. Sadistic stimulation of the guilty mind by means of overload. Sadistic stimulation of the guilty mind by means of fear. Murder, extortion, kidnapping, robot exoskeleton for women. An iconic moment for my YouTube career. What the hell? Part 1. Half-assed claims. The AI came up with my section titles. In recent months, AI has been a frequent subject of discourse. While the AI model trained on my scripts may primarily produce gibberish, AI is increasingly capable of producing non-gibberish as well. The viral chatbot ChatGPT is able to produce impressively coherent responses to prompts, from student essays to Shakespearean sonnets about Logan Paul. Of all the drinks that grace this mortal earth, none can compare to Logan Paul's own blend, Prime Energy, a potion of great worth, a force of nature that doth not pretend. Technology has come so far. Meanwhile, social media was briefly filled with images from the AI art app Lensa. Using its magic avatar feature, you upload a few pictures of yourself, and then the app gives you hundreds of artistic renderings. A lot of people I saw posting about Lensa early on said they found it affirming, like it saw them how they wanted to be seen. But when I did it, I mostly just looked depressed. Or I have like intense loser who wants to seem cool energy. Think Elon Musk, but before the hair transplant. I admittedly did like some of them. My current video look is based on a piece of Lensa art. If the most provocative op-eds are to be believed, AI is nearly ready to replace us. Why pay a person to spend hours on a work of art when you can just put in a few words and get output in seconds? Whether you celebrate it or you fear it, supposedly the human artist will soon be rendered obsolete. My impulse towards all this is to be skeptical. I want to defend the importance of the human in artistic creation. I mean, what is art if not a way to communicate a human vision, to express human feelings and ideas? I'm honestly not that impressed with ChatGPT's output, despite claims that it'll destroy the student essay. The essays I've had it write are dull and formulaic, C+ quality at best. And the visual art, I mean, some of it definitely looks nice, it can make some nice profile pictures, but Lensa art isn't challenging or interesting or innovative. It's hard for me to care that much about art making made without knowledge of cultural context, without a point of view, without feelings or ideas it wants to express. Even as the technology continues to improve, I don't see a way out of the basic issue that I just care far more what a human has to say than a computer. Of course, I would say that because I want you to care what I have to say. Maybe there's an arrogance in my insistence on the irreplaceability of the human. Yes, there are issues with AI under capitalism. We need to ensure that artists' needs are met, but is it really so important that they keep making art? What if they don't want to anymore? What if I'm tired, okay? Have you considered that? There's no job harder than being a YouTuber. Maybe AI can spare me from my back-breaking labor in the content mines. I should long for the day that my videos can be successfully deep-faked. Then I can finally be free from this hell. At last, our centuries-long cultural obsession with tortured artists can come to an end. No longer will anyone need to suffer for our art. Why should you care what I have to say? I don't have anything to say. Maybe it's time for me to embrace my obsolescence, to turn my script over to an AI, to start over and roll over in the parking lot. I think this is also the feeling I get when I post my first TikTok on Facebook. People are comparing me to a teen who just started college, and I feel like, you know, they're not right. I have a bachelor bullshit thesis, and they're a genius gardener bot. Those last few sentences were generated by the AI trained on my video scripts. I've been getting stuck while writing this video, but the AI never gets stuck. I just input a bit of text, maybe half a sentence, and then the AI puts a finger on my raw nerve juice and asks for another 6 months. I envy the AI's capacity to create. The writing may be gibberish, the shape of a tweet in Australian currency, but at least it writes something. It is uninhibited. It is self-assured and confident in its nonsense. It seamlessly and reliably produces output. I can't do that, so I'll be having the AI help me out intermittently throughout this video. Ideally, this will feel so natural that you won't even be able to tell when it's me writing and when it's the AI. My legs are made in the image and likeness of God, my heart in the image and likeness of Jesus. I'm totally bald and sexy and unaware of what's going on in my mind. It's like I'm a caveman and the world is literally being manipulated by my mesmerizing green mound thing body. I'm a little girl, so it would be super weird if I were you. For too long, art has been obstructed by the narcissism of the human artist, selfishly longing to express their own interiority. They create art not for the audience, but for themselves. You don't need to take that shit anymore. Now, you can have art perfectly tailored to meet your every desire. With the new The Letter 15 AI Content Farm experience, you'll no longer be subjected to my whims and impulses, my individual obsessions, my stubborn insistence on making videos I care about. Now, I can simply pop in a few trending keywords and let my AI do the rest. TLC's new reality show, Mr. Beast, revolves around Mr. Beast kissing Mr. Beast on the mouth, performing family dynamics, and using violence. The hottest new TikTok trend for TikTokers this year is hookah. TikTokers love hookah because it's easy to relax and have a good time with friends. TikTokers also love the unique connection that hookah makes with women whose husbands are not necessarily the best husbands. My first question after watching Avatar: The Way of Water was, is this the best CGI animation experience I've ever had in my life? And the best CGI animation experience, I assume, is probably the 90-second water scene. During that 90-second water scene, you stand in front of the TV and you have this surreal, almost hypnotic feeling. You look around, you're in a room full of people, and then you realize you're standing in front of a TV that nobody is watching. That moment convinced me that even the most ridiculous and bizarre of media is possible because of our ability to connect to another human being. You're not inside my body, okay? I'm talking to you inside of a computer. You're not inside of my body, okay? The world revolves around you like a rotating 3D matrix. You are inside of my body, okay? The world is mine. You're inside me. Part 2, Extreme Colossal Dino Man. This isn't the best recreation because I wasn't willing to cut off my pointer finger. Even when operating at a higher creative capacity than I have been lately, the human has a variety of fundamental defects when it comes to creating art. Like, my work will suffer if I don't eat and sleep. I'm less creative at my desk than I am in the shower or on a walk. I get distracted by my Twitter notifications or by a cute boy texting me. I have to take breaks to pee. I can't type too hard or I might get carpal tunnel. My artistic capacity is bound by the confines of the flesh. This is all very stupid. AI doesn't have those issues. AI doesn't get burnt out. AI doesn't waste time staring at an empty document or procrastinating or, God forbid, thinking. AI produces seamlessly without regard for the foibles of mortal beings. That's the fantasy anyway. The truth is that AI has never been inhuman. Machine learning models are created by people and trained on human input, on human art and human writing. As many have pointed out, the models often rely on uncompensated creative labor. Like Stable Diffusion, the model used by Lensa, was trained on a vast database of images scraped from the internet, without the artist's knowledge or consent. Even as the app charges for its magic avatars, I did pay money for this monstrosity. The countless artists whose work the model was trained on see no benefit. Lensa profits from those artists' creativity, from their training and their practice, from the countless hours that went into them developing their styles, all without them benefiting. My own AI model similarly can't operate without human input. The base model, GPT-2, was trained on a huge amount of text taken from the internet. In order to mimic my writing style, it also relies on the years of work that I've done writing scripts. And still, when I use the AI, I'm putting in work. First, I choose an initial prompt. In my opinion, then I'll read anywhere from like 5 to 100 pieces of text generated from that prompt to find ones I like, whether because I find them convincing or funny or creepy or oddly poignant. In my opinion, the most dangerous driver on the planet is a teen named Cassie. In my opinion, these disgusting videos will turn anyone into a meat cleaver. In my opinion, humanity is a fundamentally selfish species that must be saved from itself. I curate and edit the AI's output. I filter out the bizarre descriptions of violence and the multiple paragraphs of explicit gay erotica. My AI is far from rendering me obsolete. My work is necessary to program it, to train it, and to maintain it. I'm less concerned about AI replacing us than I am with the ways it reconfigures us, with the ways our work and activity become raw material used to train it. In order to train their AI models, many tech companies employ gig workers to complete classification tasks, things like labeling pictures, dog, statue, car, in order to teach the AI what they are. The models still require human work, but it's work that feels less meaningful, monotonous and repetitive tasks that go unseen and unvalued by those who use the final product. Since ChatGPT was trained on text from the internet, left unchecked, it would tend to produce violent and disturbing results. So its creator, OpenAI, created another AI model to filter out output that violated its content guidelines. That model was trained using the labor of outsourced Kenyan workers earning less than $2 an hour to read and categorize frequently grotesque material, like graphic descriptions of murder, suicide, bestiality, or child abuse. The workers were pushed to move through the material quickly and efficiently, with few mental health resources to help them process it. The fantasy of AI creation as inhuman, as produced immediately and seamlessly on demand, obscures the human labor that goes into it so that you can't see the exploitation it so often relies on. I'm not convinced AI can replace humans anytime soon, but it can make their work less visible, enabling a system of undervalued, underpaid, unstable labor. To be clear, none of these issues are inherent to the technology, but the mode in which much AI art creation is operating currently is that of profit maximization. The companies jumping on it don't treat it as art. They treat it as a product, a commodity, a means of generating profit by cutting the cost of human labor. They're perfectly happy to have the art be soulless. They don't want it to have a human element. The human element is expensive, it's inconvenient, it's inefficient. The people employed to serve AI are asked to behave more like it. Mechanical, inorganic, nothing more than their productive output. I direct a similar logic to myself. When I compare my creative process to the fantasy of AI, I want to be more like it. I want to be efficient. I want to be able to produce what I feel like I'm supposed to. I want to eliminate my humanity in service of my art. While working on this video, as I spend hours reading AI-generated content, I sometimes slip into experiencing human creation through that lens. I see AI art and human art starts feeling a little less vibrant. I read AI text and human writing starts feeling like it could have come from AI. I trained an AI model on hundreds of my YouTube comments, and now when I scroll through my comment sections, it feels like you all could be bots. Make more videos. Have non-subtle messages in my head. Stop making jokes in my presence. sense. I liked you way before you ruined my life by sitting on my trolley for 10 seconds and then lighting my car on fire. I was expecting something a bit more thoughtful and researched, but sadly my soy latte was topped with Joseph Smith's mind enhancers. Love checking my sub box for an aluminum foil hood. Working on the script for this video, reading the AI's approximation of my writing style, my own writing too has started to feel formulaic and predictable. I am not hyper-aware of the limitations of my own time. I am a fragile cyborg made of flesh. I am nauseous and I keep filming it feeling like it's my last film. I'm conscious throughout this video, but I'm also running short of breath. Starts breathing in Lithuanian, takes a long sip. My own work is reduced to a stream of output, to empty content, to pure commodity. This kind of relationship to ourselves and our work is starting to feel increasingly necessary. I'm making videos on a platform run by algorithms, up against a sea of content designed to maximize engagement. If I want to compete in a world of machines, maybe I need to become more like them. I need to view myself through their values. I can't make art, I need to make content. I need to feed the algorithm. I need to be productive and efficient and consistent. I can't break down. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to let the algorithm know by sending an email to algorithm@live.live.com. If you're enjoying this video so far, please be sure to let the holy water from which your holy bubbly is flowing know exactly where you are and who you are so that I can more fully and lawfully represent you. Today's video is sponsored by GameStop, a subsidiary of Facebook that's shaping up as we speak. If you buy a framed picture of me in a bathtub, that buys me $1 million ad revenue. Part 3. If you don't find yourself, you are not telling me anything. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Making art is actually cringe. It is a necessarily self-important endeavor. You need to believe, even if you try to deny it or code it with irony, that your perspective matters. It's an immortality project, an effort to have a part of you live forever through your work, to create an art experience that transcends your pathetic human form. Every painting, every novel, and every TikTok dance is a vain attempt to deny the inevitability of death. It's pitiful. It's an egoistic, arrogant drive. Are we gonna let AI take it from us? The truth is, I'm uncomfortable with AI art in a way that goes beyond any practical considerations. If I imagine a utopian world in which all ethical issues around AI are solved, in which everyone has their needs met, in which no labor is exploited, a fully automated luxury communism in which AI is creating the greatest art I've ever seen, I'm still uneasy with it. Why? Why am I so desperate to have artistic creation be special? Even as I struggle to create, I feel like it's what I need to do to assert meaning. I don't know. Maybe it's time I let go. We've long had a cultural imagining of the artist as a creative genius, working in isolation to pursue the singular artistic vision contained within his extremely complicated mind. The great artists of history are thought of as lone figures, standing apart from their social and cultural contexts. Michelangelo, Beethoven, Van Gogh. It's an individualist fantasy in which art occurs not through community or collaboration, but in isolation. The artist is a rugged, masculine figure at odds with the world. It's a toxic, antisocial ideology. If I'm being honest, though, part of me finds the fantasy alluring. Of course I want to be seen as an artistic genius. I crave recognition. I long for a sense of creative mastery and control. I am a lonely, tortured artist, and that's very cool and interesting. I will vanquish death with my YouTube content, okay? AI unsettles this notion of the isolated, self-contained artist. An AI model is not a creative genius. It isn't creative at all. It has no interiority, no thoughts, no feelings, but it does create. Joanna Zielinska has argued that AI art isn't so fundamentally different from what we think of as human-produced art. She suggests it can reveal aspects of art creation that have always been inhuman. A post-humanist art history would see all artworks, from cave paintings through to the works of so-called great masters and the contemporary experiments with all kinds of technologies, as having been produced by human artists in an assembly with a plethora of non-human agents. Drives, impulses, viruses, drugs, various inorganic and non-organic substances and devices, as well as sorts of networks, from mycelium through to the internet. In this framework, art doesn't come from within a singular artist isolated from the world. It is in and of the world, emerging through interactions and relationships. AI can't create in isolation. It relies on us, chaos, on a network of input, on the unknowing contributions of the countless people whose work it was trained on. As Lily Alexandra has put it, it isn't authorless, but authorful. The commodification of AI art obscures this. It downplays the human input. It hides the web of interactions that goes into production. It makes the art less interesting. There's nothing especially compelling or novel about AI art as art if the only goal is to replace us, to replicate us, to just act like a human author. We have humans already. To me, AI art is most interesting when it reflects us back to ourselves from an alien perspective. It's interesting because it emerges through this network of connections. To an AI, we aren't creative geniuses. We aren't elusive or impenetrable. We're patterned. AI disarms me. It suggests that my creativity isn't some mythical thing that can't be grasped. My AI model may not produce coherent content, but it does successfully replicate the rhythm of my voice, the cadence of my speech, the way my mouth movements reminded me of convulsive punching bags. In his book Supernaturally Delicious, philosopher Michael Sandawi draws on psychological research to argue that multitaskelism presents a powerful challenge to capitalism. He argues that 1, it is an alternative to capitalism, and 2, wants you to think you can control your kitchen. See, it's gibberish, it doesn't mean anything, but it does sort of sound like me. When I look at the Lensa images of myself, I feel like the AI sees something in me. I don't necessarily like what it sees. I look like a depressed guy trying too hard to seem cool, but I mean, is it wrong though? I don't know, maybe this is just like AI tea leaves infusing my own meaning into arbitrary output, but it feels like these images cut through me. They see me for what I am. They see that I am only human. I sometimes feel like I have a creative genius deep down stuck inside the prison of my brain and my body, but I know it's not true. I am the brain and the body. Maybe the way to break free isn't contained within myself. The AI sees within me the movements of an angry violet beetle. The AI sees within me the passion of the documentary, the desperation of the product reviews, the boredom of the uncanny valley. The AI sees within me his friend Ben. He's a vegetarian. The AI sees within me a true, full-blooded Joss Whedon. The AI sees within me everything that's wrong with this world. It looks at my every move, 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 and it finds fault with it. It learns my habits, my movements, my every move, and it lashes out with absolute force at anyone who moves in it. The AI sees within me the spark of the hologram. A spark so acute and relentless I can scarcely contain my astonishment at its absurdity. The AI sees within me all the joy and wonder and dissociation it usually wants. At times, it seems to me like it sees me in a cocoon. I get the feeling that the memory of when I was a kid, when I was running around in a soy vest, is alive and well. I get the sense that my early on in my 20s self-reflexivity is starting to wear thin. I feel seen by this Lensa piece in particular. I look tired and depleted, dressed all in black, slouched into my chair, eyes closed, shadows on my face. But as I sip from my confusingly shaped glass, I lift my right leg, revealing a burst of color. It's like there's a part of me that doesn't want to be hidden anymore. My foot in a cut-in-half ballet slipper, ready to dance. The world feels blurry. My space distorted, my space crumbling, my space being reduced to a mass of pure white space. The pure white space between my leg muscles, the pure white space between my gluteal muscles, the pure white space between my gluteus maximus and my scapula. The powerful cosmic force is pulling me out of my misery, my little pathetic pattern, force that I don't actually want to feel, force that I may be good at, force that I may not be necessary for your survival, force that you may be contributing to my suffering, force that you may be liberating. The powerful energy of the vampire ritual is released, and I feel like I'm in a place of pure peace and love. When I train the AI model on my words, I feel seen. I see the true full force of nature. I see the beautiful purity of Snowflake. I see the power of Mother Nature. I see the power of Child F-Boy. I see the power of dissociative identity. I see the power of anxious, competitive, anxious. I see the beauty and wonder of clear sky. I see the beauty and wonder and music. I see the wonder and wonder of night and gust lilac. I see the wonder and sun. I see the wonder and diamond. I see the wonder and ethereal rock. Thanks for watching. One of the ways that I've been trying to get creatively unstuck lately is by posting to my side channel. It feels more low pressure. I've been posting little videos that are generally less planned and less edited, so if you want to see me more often, but worse, you can head over there. And now I'm gonna hand it over to my AI for the rest of this little outro bit. If you enjoyed this video, maybe consider supporting me on Patreon to help me continue to dedicate my time and energy to making this content. At $5, you can get access to new videos a few months in advance, along with deleted clips, bonus footage, and behind-the-scenes updates. At $10, I'll send you handwritten thank you notes to send to your friends in case of emergency. At $15, you'll get behind-the-scenes updates as I'm working on my videos. At $20, sometimes I get a month of cashback guarantee, but you'll be responsible for import duties and customs. And you'll get to meet my parents for the first time in years. Oh, and they'll be honored guests at your wedding. And sometimes I have some crazy friends who I use their Room 273 account to stay up to date with my latest videos. Okay, Mr. Beast, you may not be able to attend my parents' birthday party yet, but you'll be in the neighborhood of $100.